Hey everyone, George Gill here from Gill Media. Thanks for joining me. Today I want to talk to you about social media and is it worth it? Is it worth it for your business? What are the real benefits for your business? Okay, this is a great topic. It's a hot topic. All right, and if you've done any social media, you should know that you need to ask yourself this question, right? Because this one's big. All right, so let's jump into this. Alrighty. In this video, we're going to consider why social media, and that's the overview of the whole video is why social media. And there's multiple parts to this question, and we got to dig into it deep. Second, what's the strategy? And third, how do you measure the results? All three very critical components to having success with social media, right? Okay, so let's start with why social media. You need to clearly define why. And this is really critical. You know, just because everybody's talking about, say, Facebook or Twitter or Google Plus or whatever the latest greatest social media channel out there is, you need to ask yourself, why? Is it right for your business? Okay, and that's not necessarily a simple question because there is a significant cost to social media. Now, that's whether or not you're hiring somebody like ourselves who does social media professionally for other businesses, where you have a financial cost where you're outlaying dollars for that to happen. And incidentally, even if that's happening, you're not off the hook from a sweat cost because nobody knows your business as well as you do. So even our clients that we manage their social media for, they're spending some time providing information. They're the experts on their business, so we need that credible information to be able to channel that in the right way into the social media channels. So you not only have a financial cost, you have a little bit of sweat labor there as well. Now, you might be doing social media in-house, for which there is just a ton of work towards it. There's a ton of work that has to go into it. Now, you really need to think about this, okay? Because social media, I want you to think about it from the perspective of like a best friend, okay? Would it be acceptable for your best friend to call you only when it suits them, and maybe that's once a month when they need something? Well, probably not. Okay, that wouldn't be what I would consider a best friend. And certainly if I was behaving that way, I wouldn't be a best friend to somebody. Okay, well, social media is the same way. You have to give an awful lot. Okay, it's about giving. And, you know, especially initially, it's going to feel like it's all one-sided. All right. So there's that commitment to it that is daily. Okay. And I'll be honest with you. I have a team of people that do social media for our clients. I'm not one of them. That's not my thing. I personally know about myself that social media overall, being disciplined to do that every single day is a huge commitment. So know this, know the cost that truly goes behind it. Once you know that, other components that you need to consider about the why is, first of all, is your ideal customer hanging out there? Okay. Now, just because Facebook has, the largest population doesn't mean that A, your customer is going to be there, or B, you're going to be able to actually get to your customer based on the parameters and the capabilities of the network that you can work within. So it may be far more beneficial, for example, if you're B2B, to be over on LinkedIn, where, that group of people that are intermingling are potentially a better prospect to your business. Okay, so you need to understand where your ideal customer is hanging out so that you can focus your time on it. Then you need to understand what's the goal. Okay, what is the goal that you hope to achieve? Now, it might be sales, it might be leads, it may be supporting your sales or leads. It may be just viral conversation, right? If you own a restaurant or you own a club, you might just want people talking about you, keeping the excitement going, okay? If you're in a not-for-profit type of situation, you may depend on that kind of viral nature. So you need to understand what's the goal, because you're going to structure your campaign around that goal. And then, of course, understand what's the true cost. And we kind of beat that one to death, but you really do need to understand there is a cost. It is not free in the typical sense of marketing. Okay, so next, what's your strategy? This one's really critical. You need to understand that you do not own this real estate, okay? And you really need to let that sink in for a second, okay? Now, just because Facebook's hot today, Google Plus is hot today, Twitter's hot today, doesn't mean they're always going to be around, okay? And I know that might be hard to believe, but I'm sure it was hard to believe for Yahoo and MySpace and all those social networks as well. And even if they're around still, that doesn't stop them from suspending your account or changing the rules, as they do quite frequently, on how you play, okay? So know that you don't own the real estate and factor that into your overall strategy, okay? With the amount of work, effort, time, money, resources that you're going to put into social media, understand that all of that content is valuable. Okay, and you need to have a strategy that's either going to preserve that content or at least have that content work in a way that brings the person back to your real estate. Okay, so really give some time and thought to the overall strategy. Now, depending on the goal, the strategy might be to direct to the home base, so your own website. Okay, please do not forego your own website for the purpose of a Facebook page or a Google Plus page. That's bad move. Okay, really bad move. You have to realize that could disappear on you, and that's building a business on stilts, and you don't want to do that. So one of the strategies might be to draw people into your home base. Another strategy might be, as I said, engaging in the conversation. It might be all about the viralness. But even in that scenario, I encourage you to get that person off of the channel and into your own realm, into your own space that you own. Ideally capture an email so you can take that conversation to the next level and be more one-on-one at that stage, okay? So you can definitely have a goal of engaging in the conversation and creating that viralness, but still trying to let them know where you live. Bring them back to there. The other factor is the authority of the content. Remember that this stuff never goes away. Right? When you post a comment or post an update or what have you, it's there forever. Make sure that you're always representing that you're an authority in your particular business, okay? Really critical. Have these goals in place and have the strategy behind the goals, right? Love this image. Love it because it goes back to saying, if you don't have a goal, really any road will do. Okay, you need to have a goal so that you can get to the results that you want to have. So many people dive into social media just thinking they have to be there, and you don't. You don't have to be there unless you have a purpose, okay? And you've nailed that down. Okay, and then finally, we need to measure this. This road matters. It really does. Social media can be very powerful for your business. Okay, incredibly powerful, but you need to measure it. You need to finesse it, tweak it, fine tune it, because it's marketing, right? And marketing can always be improved. But to improve it, you need to measure it, you need to have goals in place, and you need to finesse and fine tune, rinse, repeat type of idea. So how do you measure it? Well, we like to use Google Analytics. I recommend you do. And when you do and you set up your Google Analytics, make sure you're setting up your goals. Make sure you're constructing your campaigns so that you can track the progress of your social media efforts. And of course, my favorite line, don't do a thing online unless you're measuring it. Okay, very important. Establish the metrics, okay? What are the acceptable levels? Now, social media doesn't have to be a direct result of sales or leads or whatever, the big goal is. Social media can be other types of goals. So it may be a great support network, okay, to support your sales. Or it may be social proof. Add a great deal of social proof, which in turn increases sales, okay, or leads. But you need to understand that. You need to understand what the goals are and then what are acceptable levels. If you're putting in 1, 2, 3 hours a day into social media, what do you expect out of it? What is the return? Now, even though you won't hit those numbers right off the bat, that's okay. At least you have something that you're working towards. And that's the point of this, okay? That's the point of it, is to have those acceptable levels in place so that you know if you're progressing in the right direction, okay? Understanding that you won't be at them right away. It'll take time to build up, okay? But you need to be headed in the right direction. You need a measurement time frame. What is an acceptable time frame? 6 months, a year before you start to see the results? 3 months, 1 month? What's acceptable for you at what percentage of work? I recommend with social media, have a longer time than you think. Okay, it's like doing a renovation, double it, okay, if necessary. Have a longer time than what you're really willing to do. Just take that and times it by 2, and if necessary, drop the daily work level so that you're not kind of festering that you're not getting the results quick, because it does take time. The other aspect of measurement on the time frame is how frequently you're going to check in on your goals and how you're progressing to those acceptable levels. I recommend at minimum once a week, okay? And you should be checking your analytics at least once a week. And then note the changes. Note the changes. Is it working right for you? Okay, so establish those metrics. Reports that you can focus on within Google Analytics are such things as real-time reporting. That one's really cool. You can send out a tweet today, right now, and watch the effect if you link it back to your site. So in the example, first drink free in the next hour at this club. If you're a club or you're a restaurant, come down and mention this tweet, or come, go to this page and like us for a $5 appetizer discount today, right? You can watch how many people click on that link that moment and come to that page. So pretty powerful stuff. Now, the other cool thing about that, right, because you have that real-time data right then, is you could send the same tweet, finessed a little, change it up a little, the next day, exact same time, and see if it performs better, okay? So just finessing your message, seeing what works, what doesn't work. Or you might try a different hour in the day, that exact message, and see if it performs differently. Okay, know how to improve those results and talk directly to your ideal customer, and you can work less and get better results. It's pretty powerful. You should be looking at conversions if conversions is one of your goals for your social media. So more leads, more sales, and seeing if it's working, what channels are working, what channels aren't working. Within Google Analytics, there's now a social tab under traffic sources that you have a whole bunch of social media data in there that I recommend you check out. And even if conversions isn't the end goal for your social media campaigns, you should be looking at the multi-channel conversions to see how social media is affecting conversions. So do I come to your site via organic search, then come back 2 or 3 times, and then come via Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or Google Plus before I make a purchase? Well, if that's the case, does that change my message? Absolutely. Okay, so you need to know that kind of data, which is really critical. Listen, if you like that kind of information, I got a free ebook for you. Head over to www.googleanalyticstutorials.com. Opt in, and I'm going to email you out a free ebook that gives you the 5 essential steps proven to skyrocket marketing results. Okay, and this is all around Google Analytics and measurement, because it is an absolute critical component to any marketing that you're doing offline or online. So head over there to get that ebook. So, in summary, know why you're doing social media. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2, establish your strategy, and number 3, measure everything. All right. Okay, folks, my name's George Gill from Gill Media. Thanks for joining me. I hope that was beneficial, and I'll see you again real soon.